Alright, we're soloing 25-man Heroic Lich King in Mists of Pandaria here on my Retribution Paladin. I normally play Retribution, all my gear is for Retribution. We will actually use a protection build to do the Lich King. I've gotten pretty good at doing this. We just finished clearing the rest of the instance out in 10-man normal mode. I don't really care about any of the loot in the whole rest of the instance, so just 10-man normal mode, make it really easy. And then you can switch it up to 25 heroic. You have to exit the instance is the first thing you've got to do. Then you can switch it to 25 normal. Then you can go back in. And then once you're inside 25, you can switch it from 25 up to 25 heroic and then do the Lich King. That's what we're doing here. I would say, you know, once I figured out what I'm doing here, it became pretty easy, but figuring out the strategy, you know, first was a little challenging and faced some difficulty. Here we go, raid difficulty 25 player mode. Then we go right back inside. So one thing you're going to want to have before you pull the Lich King is you're going to want to have a nice macro. Whenever the Lich King does Remorseless Winter, he's going to spawn mobs called Ice Spheres, and they slowly move towards you, and if they touch you, they knock you back, and they knock you all off of Lich King's platform, so it's really annoying. So what I have is a simple macro that says /target Ice Sphere /cast Avenger's Shield, and then final line is /target the Lich King. So all in one button, it will target the Ice Sphere, cast Avenger's Shield on it, and then go back to targeting the Lich King. For the gear, we've got Kill Rack Jaws of Terror normal mode version and Steel Skin for the shield. And then I have one other swap. So this is the full list of the gear at 505 item level. It's mostly Retribution gear, mostly enchanted, gemmed, and reforged for Retribution. So that's good. And then in the talents are pretty important, or glyphs are. Focus Shield is a big deal. Avenger's Shield is going to be our #1 damage source. Glyph of Alabaster Shield, Glyph of Devotion Ore, this one doesn't really matter. And then the talents are like this. So I'll put Blessing of Might on myself, use Drums of Forgotten Kings, plenty of duration left on my food buff, get this, or not my food buff, my flask. Food and Rune Scroll of Fortitude need to be refreshed. And then we need to go Seal of Insight. Oh, it's not on heroic. Wait. Yeah, you're right. It's at 61. Raid difficulty 25 player heroic. It'll reset. Don't worry. Thank you for reminding me. Yep, I forgot to switch it to heroic. Now it's heroic. Now you can look at the Lich King, 103 million health. All of our stuff is ready to go, so we can just restart the thing there. There we go. Okay, now 103 million. You see it still says on the flag here that it's 10 heroic. That's a bug. You can look at the boss's health. It says 103 million. That's the total for heroic mode. And when we loot him, you'll see that it's 25 heroic loot. Right, so the main strategy is Avenger's Shield does the vast majority of your damage, and it's really what you want to focus on pressing as often as you can. We're going to ignore most of the ads for the first phase and the second and the first Remorseless Winter. Then after the first Remorseless Winter, I'm going to start using Consecration to slowly kill off the Drudge Ghouls. And the only reason I do that is because if the Drudge Ghouls survive all the way into phase 3, there's a bug, and whenever he puts you in the Frostmourne Chamber, if there are Drudge Ghouls available or around, they will just kill you. And you'll just die in the Frostmourne Chamber because of the presence of the Drudge Ghouls. So we want them alive for as long as possible, because they're going to hit us and give us free refreshes of our Avenger's Shield ability. That's generally what we want from all the mobs that we fight, is we just want all these mobs hitting us, because it's going to make it so we can use Avenger's Shield more often. But eventually the Drudge Ghouls have to be finished off. So the primary thing that kills you in this phase is the Shadow Trap. I have that little warning with the bite sound and the big purple icon popping up on my screen. That just tells me I've got to move away. Got to move away a little bit. Shadow Traps are another thing, like the Ice Sphere I was talking about before. If it touches you, it just does a huge knockback and yeets you completely off the platform and you're dead. In this phase, I don't really even need any of my healing abilities. I'm not, wasting Holy Power on using Eternal Flame on myself. But when we get into the Remorseless Winter, the, transition phases, then I'll be using Eternal Flame on myself. I'm backpedaling around this, circle on the platform. No real reason for that. Just it's easy path to follow, and it keeps the Shadow Traps out of the middle, I guess is the only, important thing. Because you don't want any Shadow Traps to be present in the middle when he transitions into the Remorseless Winter phase. Because he's always going to move exactly to the center of the platform for that phase and stay there. Have you killed this before, or is this prog? I've done this a couple of times. I know my character is capable. I've practiced at it. So, I mean, what you're seeing here is the result of a lot of practice and a lot of attempts. You might say it's looking easy. But, if you're going in here for your first time trying this, you're likely going to die a few times before you really get the hang of it. So you can see I have a very large number of mobs on me now, and my Avenger's Shield cooldown just keeps resetting. And is my #1 priority ability to be pressing, because it just does the most damage. And that's usually, the challenge on Lich King is not necessarily surviving, but doing enough damage to take him out before he enrages. Pretty much any tank class should be able to live all the way to the enrage, but not every tank class can do enough damage to kill him before he enrages. The transition to Remorseless Winter is going to happen at 70%. So we're coming up on that kind of soon. It's at 73% right now. There's the transition. Okay, so we have to look out for the ice sphere spawning, and we have to hit our macro that I talked about at the start. That'll target the ice sphere, cast the Avenger's Shield, kill it. Good, done, it's killed. And I also activated my Eternal Flame to help heal myself. While we're sitting in the middle here, we're actually taking a lot of extra damage that we weren't taking in the previous phase. Ice Sphere taken out. Good. Good. It's also important to stay in melee range of the boss, because a lot of your self-healing comes from your Seal of Insight. And if you accidentally back away from the boss and stop meleeing it, you lose a lot of your healing. One more Ice Sphere. It's taken out. That's good. So now we're in phase 2. I'm going to start pressing Consecrate to gradually destroy these Drudge Ghouls. Really want to keep them around for as long as I can. But they have to be dead by the time phase 3 starts, so we're going to start working on them now. These Valkyrs, they'll never pick me up. They'll just ignore me the entire fight. That's because they don't hit the tank. Like, if you're Lich King's primary target and you're taking melee attacks from Lich King, the Valkyrs just will never target you. So they'll just hang out the whole time, and we can ignore them the whole time. Oh, I'm taking some damage. Put out a little heal on myself once I'm not silenced. Okay, good. Good. We're covered. So, one thing that happens is a mob called a Raging Spirit will spawn during that intermission phase, and it can silence me. And that does not affect my Avenger's Shield, but it does prevent me from using my self-heal, and it prevents me from using Consecrate. So those are abilities I want to press sometimes, not all the time, but I need to be aware of when I'm silenced and when I can't use those. Fast. The ghouls are almost dead. Now it looks like the ghouls are dead. Perfect. We're about to start the second Remorseless Winter. That's pretty much right on time. I could have delayed the killing of the ghouls a little bit more, but it is pretty much on schedule. Now, with far fewer ghouls, you'll notice my Avenger Shield just doesn't reset quite as often. It's not just constantly going back to full. Like right now, this Ice Sphere is on me, and my Avenger Shield is not, getting its cooldown reset. This is the problem. Yeet. And there we go. Yeah, okay, so that was the issue. I mean, my Avenger Shield just didn't reset, and I wasn't able to use it to kill the Ice Sphere, and I kind of lost track of it as multiples spawned, and that's what happened. That's how you fail. Have you managed to solo 25-man Heroic Lich King yet? Asked Blazurius. Yeah, I've done it a lot of times on the Paladin, and a lot of times on the Death Knight. Ice Spheres of how much HP? I don't know. They get one shot by my Avenger's Shield. So, could have handled that better, but yeah. I mean, you see, if it can get a little suspect. You know, it's not a guaranteed thing. Judgment doesn't take them out. I don't know if I wasn't trying to use Judgment to kill them. I have it set up to do Avenger's Shield. I could maybe add to the macro the Judgment. I believe Judgment is an ability I can't use while silenced. I'm not entirely sure on that, though, because it's usually a low priority ability. Please don't aggro this thing. Nice, okay, we made it past. Alright, we do this. We go through. I go to add Judgment on this macro. And I'd have a second button that does some damage. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. I mean, I sat through an entire regular duration Avengers Shield cooldown, waiting for it to come up, and I didn't get a single reset for, what, like, 12 seconds? And piled on top of, you know, an unusually high spawn rate of the ice spheres at that particular time. Alright, food buff, Rune Scroll of Fortitude, Drums of Kings, Blessing of Kings, Flask of Winter's Bite. Good. Pretty good. I mean, everything up to the ice sphere that killed me, everything up to that was pretty much exactly how you want it to be. Free potion. Back out. Shadow Trap. I'm gonna turn this way so that the dude is attacking me from the front. There's another Shadow Trap. This Shambling Horror spawned like way behind me. I didn't want it to attack me from behind. I'd rather it attack me from the front. I think he froze the wrong Paladin. If he froze me instead, I think he'd have a higher chance of living. I've seen, you know, Tirion Fordring come out of the ice, fight these shambling horrors, and, you know, he struggles against the shambling horrors. You know, he's struggling against the shambling horrors, dude. How's he gonna beat the Lich King? We're getting into the Turbo Avengers Shield segment of this. Enough mobs up that I just get all these resets. Hell yeah. Less commentary this time, more focus. I did a lot of explaining while multitasking and playing last time. I'm gonna try to be more locked in, make sure we secure the kill here. Good, here's the phase transition. I'm going to start this transition with putting Eternal Flame on myself. The transitions always last exactly 60 seconds. So if you do one Eternal Flame at the start and another one halfway through, you'll be covered. Good. Got all the ice spheres so far with Avenger's Shield being available. So I haven't really tested yet the functionality of does the Judgment command that I added to the macro do anything. Every time I've pressed it, Avenger's Shield has been available. So it just worked the way I'd expect to. Here's the Quake. There's no other ice spheres. Okay, we're good here. Now we begin the use of the AoE abilities. So we could do Consecrates and we can do Hammer of the Righteous, I think it's called. Oh, I actually didn't refresh the Eternal Flame in the second half of that Remorseless Winter. We ended up being totally fine though, so no problem. Bro got silenced. No more shadow traps this phase, but he still does infest, so you do have to keep your health high. That's a mechanic you usually don't have to worry about too much as a tank. His infest ability puts a damage over time on you that just lasts forever until you get above 90% health, then it goes away. But the damage over time effect, it does more and more damage every time it ticks. So if it happens to hit you and you are low on health, it's very hard to get out from under it. But if you can just be at high health all the time, you basically just ignore it. All the ghouls are dead now. I don't have to keep pressing AoE abilities. 40.2. Okay, so here's the phase transition. Refresh of the Eternal Flame. Alright. I like pitching the camera up. It helps me to see where the ice dudes are spawning. Got him that time. Refreshed Eternal Flame. Just gonna hold the Avenger's Shields. You know, it'll be less damage on the boss, but it basically guarantees I get through the phase. There we go. There's a Quake. Okay, so we're through. We're through. Hard part's over. So now, no more Infest in this phase. But there's this thing. Harvesting Soul. He's sending me to the Frostmourne Chamber. Took a lot of damage here. We're looking good. Trying to build up combo points here. Divine shielding. It's always a little scary coming out. Usually the biggest danger time. You can get hit with a lot of different stuff all at once. So I try to do, oh shit, he's standing still. Try to do a devotion aura right as I come out of the Frostmourne chamber. Should prevent me from being silenced for a few seconds. Okay, we're going back into the Frostmourne chamber. 27% boss health, and we're 10 minutes 45 into the fight. I believe that's pretty good. This part, you know, third phase where you get thrown into the Frostmourne chamber a bunch, it's really hard to get ahead on the damage. Because, like, you're just spending 40 seconds at a time in the Frostmourne chamber doing no damage. What's the point to AoE the enemies down? Specifically, I'm AoEing the Drudge Ghouls. And the only reason I would AoE the Drudge Ghouls down is because there's a bug where if the Drudge Ghouls are alive, when you get thrown into the Frostmourne chamber, they will just kill you. You will just die if those are up. I gotta focus. I don't know what it is. It's something like the Drudge Ghouls can just keep attacking you while you're in the Frostmourne chamber. That seems like what's happening. But I didn't get a clear, like, indication from the combat log whenever that happened to me of, like, exactly what was killing me. All the other mobs, they don't matter. Holy Wrath, Nardi DNA is not a good ability. Because Holy Wrath caps its total damage and then spreads it among all targets. So it does a very, very small amount of damage to each target when you have a large number of enemies like I do in this situation. Consecrate is really your best AoE, and Hammer of the Righteous are your best choices. Like, honestly, Holy Wrath is basically a wasted global, I would say. Mike Lowry, hello. How's it going? We're just, you know, just picking up a mount here. As you do. Oh my god. Lay on hands myself? No! Don't kill me again! Wait, I bopped myself. Okay. I must have misclicked. Okay. I didn't mean to do that. Jesus Christ. No, don't kill me again! No! Bro, half my abilities, I can't use them while I'm silenced. And I'm just, towards the end of that, I'm like perpetually silenced, okay? Holy Wrath sucks complete ass. I have plenty of durability. This one, this one, this one. Oh, I think Lay on Hands is on Control F in my Retribution build. That's why I Blessing of Protection to myself. So I pressed Control F.
We'll grant you a swift death, Arthas. More than can be said for the thousands you've tortured and slain.
Damn, the pre-pot wasn't a pre-pot. Did it just a little bit too late. Back out. Move. Decided to cast a different spell. Do-do-do. Going into the first Remorseless Winter here at 407, 408. Yep, okay, good. Put up the first self-heal. Another execution sentence. For this Remorseless Winter, I don't need to hold my shield cooldowns because I have so many mobs on me. The cooldown resets are virtually guaranteed. It's the second one where I've killed all the Drudge Ghouls that I need to be holding my shield cooldown for the Ice Spheres. Which I wouldn't say I need to, but I'm going to, just to avoid the problem that happened on the first attempt. So far, so good. Trying to be extra locked in, because 2 attempt wipes. 2 wipes in a row. That's frustrating. My expectation was to come in here and smash it, as I have done before. Drudge Ghouls are still alive. Not exactly what we want to see here, but they'll be dead by the end of this phase for sure. Nice sphere falling. Now, I believe all the Drudge Ghouls are dead. Okay, good. We're through. All the ice spheres are gone. Looking good. Going into the Frostmourne chamber here pretty quick. many combo points do I have? None? Rip. I'll build up some combo points on these guys. Usually I prefer to not hit these guys at all, so it doesn't trigger any of my damage-dealing trinkets. So that all of those damage-dealing trinkets can trigger right when I come out of the chamber, and then they're all stacked on top of each other. And that's going to optimize damage output a little better. But I'm going to opt for building up the combo points. I think that's a safer, but lower DPS play. We up that Eternal Flame when I had the chance. Now I'm getting trucked by the ads. But I've got Eternal Flame up. That's good. Moving out of the Defile. Making sure Lich King's still in melee range of me. Going in again. Alright, same thing. We're going to build up the combo points all the way up to 5. So that we can hit a Eternal Flame and then still have 2 points left over right as we exit. So I can do a Shield of the... What is it called? Shield ability? The finishing move? Shield of the Righteous, yeah. That's the one. Let's see. I will not have Devotion Aura available coming out of this. My health is going to be low, so I'm going to hit this one instead. Alright, Defile. If I used a different big defensive cooldown... Lay on hands myself. Eternal Flame. Files up. Move out. Just channeling Vile Spirits, so we can't run around. Gotta stay in melee range, so we keep hitting him, so we keep healing from Seal of Insight. Back into the chamber. 6% health left. When we get him to 10%, we're done. Alright. Big pog damage. No Cosmic Rib, thank you.
Sending some good bandwidth vibes for your ISP Poltergeist.
Thank you for the 15 months, Cosmic Rib. I appreciate that. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope the ISP holds out today, too. I hope so. Let's see, what do I have coming out of this? Should probably hit my Avenging Wrath right before I come out of this. Try to get nice. Got a Eternal Flame refresh there. Could be done here. Or one more chamber. Is it going to be... Yo, that's Fury of Frostmourne. There we go. There we go. A little frustrating, but on that last one, you know, I just locked in. You know, less explaining of what I'm doing, more just focusing on what I'm doing. Now, I've heard of a thing that can happen that I've never had happen to me before. What I've heard can happen is, you see these shambling horrors. We never ever killed them. They just persist from phase 1. What I've heard can happen is after Tirion breaks out of the ice, if he accidentally aggroes one of the shambling horrors, he will just fight the horror until it dies before he resurrects you. Which would not be good if that happened. I would not appreciate that. All right, let's get a prediction going. Will the mount drop? Stream prediction. Start prediction. Will the mount drop? All right, prediction's up. Mount was a 100% drop chance in 25 heroic mode when Wrath of Lich King was current content Ginnistel. But after Kata came out, it became a low percent chance to drop. Trust me, we've killed this guy a few times. It's definitely not a 100% drop rate. Can confirm. It did not drop many times in a row. No! No! Oh my god. Oh my god. It finally happened. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh no! Is it faster to reset and go again? It takes about 14 to 15 minutes to kill him. All right, let's get some tools to make a quick estimation. Okay, mob is currently at 5813 start timer. And then we'll see how much health he's lost in 1 minute. And then we'll make an estimate as to how long it's going to take if we just sit here. Oh, no, dude, we got griefed. We have to go again. I swear the answer is to go again. We're gonna hold out for 60 seconds, then do the calculation, and then figure it out. You can't release. Okay, we'll find out soon whether or not I can release Spirit. All right, after exactly 60 seconds, he is now at 5631 thousand health, which means he's lost 2 carry the 1 8 182,000 health per minute, which means if he's got 5,631,000 divided by 182,000, which is how much he loses in a minute, that means it will take 31 minutes for this bitch to kill that shambling horror. Okay, turns out we can release Spirit. So how do we prevent that? I think we prevent it by... We gotta make it so the shambling horrors don't spawn anywhere near there, because I think they're defaulting back to their spawn location. So I think we should fight Tirion, like, or not Tirion, fight the Lich King off to the side or something. Broxigar, the mob went from 5,813,000 health when I started the timer, and then 60 seconds later, he was at 5,631,000 health, which meant that he lost 182,000 health in 1 minute. So then if he has 5,631,000 divided by 182,000, that means approximately 31 more minutes. The W for doubters? I mean, the Lich King didn't die yet, so... Oh, look at this! Wait, we're back! Wait, I thought the encounter would just reset. I was not expecting it to still be in this state. Alright, we can put out a little... Actually, yeah, we can put out a lot more DPS than Tirion. Can I buff Tirion? No. Unlucky. Oh, yeah, what if I'm already alive? Yeah, wait, why don't I just kill Lich King? Wait, that's a good idea, CK. Why don't I just kill Lich King? Fuck the shambling horrors. I wonder what happens if Tirion doesn't complete his RP and never shatters Frostmourne. I think we're unlocking new lore. Like, what's the alternate timeline where Frostmourne is not shattered when the heroes defeat the Lich King in Icecrown Citadel? Secret ending, yeah. I'm trying to weave in a lot of AoE abilities, just in case I end up having to kill all the horrors. You become the Lich King and the raid becomes a PvP fight. That'd be sick, dude. Getting to cast Defile on whoever I want. Dude, imagine if you had a player controlled... Oh man, this could be so cool. What if you could make... Okay, think about this. What if you could make a private server where one player gets to control the boss, and then the other, and then you have like a normal raid of players trying to beat the boss. But like the timing of all the boss abilities is controlled by like one boss person, one player, right? So things might still have boss abilities might still have a cooldown, but once the cooldown's up, the player controlling the boss could decide when to press them. That's just D&D, Simon. All I know is if I was controlling the Lich King against a raid of players, I would figure out who the slowest, stupidest person in the raid is, and I would target them with Defile every time. Right up until the raid figured out I was doing that, and then told that person to go stand in the corner, then I'd go target someone else. So the Retribution Paladin. Yeah. I think the play on most bosses would just be as the player controlling the boss. Oh my god, Lich King's at 1 health. He can't die. He can't die until the RP is over. Oh my god, damn it. So I think the play on most bosses would be save all your abilities till they're all off cooldown and then just do them all at once. I think that's the way you would overwhelm a player raid. Alright, so it seems like I do have to kill the shambling horrors. Luckily, we were hitting some AoE abilities on the way of killing the Lich King. Let me single target the horror that has the most health right now. We'll keep going with the AoE abilities. This is easily the longest duration post Fury of Frostmourne Lich King kill I've ever done. Now this one has more health. I don't actually know what's going to happen. I mean, honestly, Tirion might be in combat with the Lich King at this point. It's possible I've just bricked the entire thing. You know, if Tirion just continues attacking the Lich King and the Lich King can't die, well then we're effed. But we're gonna find out together. What if I drag these away? Oh, okay, yeah. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's drag him away from the Lich King. Like, as far away as we can. And maybe Tirion will forget that the Lich King exists. What happened? Asked Stranger Than Myth. Tirion aggroed one of the shambling horrors before he started his RP sequence. And then he just decided to fight the shambling horror instead of doing his RP sequence where he shatters Frostmourne. Oh, please don't go auto attack the... Oh, what's he doing? Okay, he did it. He did it. We're not totally bricked. Oh, he's dead. I'm gonna loot him right now, because I don't know what's about to happen. Closing prediction. Yeah, we did a quick calculation of how long it would have taken Tirion to kill the shambling horror, and it was over 30 minutes. Royal Scepter of Tyrannus II, 236 gold, Fallen Rush, Protector, Conqueror, Vanquisher, Shadow... Isn't it supposed to be 2 Shadowfrost shards? Is it only a chance for 2? I thought this guy always drops 2. Did the difficulty get screwed up when I had to release Spirit and come back in? Let me look at the Scepter. No, we're getting heroic, 25 heroic loot from the other pieces. Okay, whatever. Vanquisher. That's it. Yeah, just 1 Shadowfrost shard. What the hell? Well, that was scuffed. How did you res up? You can just release Spirit, apparently. Some people were telling me that I couldn't release Spirit during that section. They were wrong. I just released Spirit, walked back into the raid. At that point, I was expecting the encounter to be fully reset, but it wasn't. It was still just Tirion wailing away at the shambling horror and the Lich King, you know, holding up his Frostmourne in the middle of the room. Alright, well that didn't exactly go according to plan. Especially the part where the mount didn't drop. That part was not part of the plan.